Another game, which seemed interesting in its premise. Sadly, there's an issue at the start. There is no audio setting. There's graphics. There's language. There's no audio. It's missing. So I know my voice can be quite quiet at times, and especially with my now creaky headset. So if they're hard to hear or something, I apologize. There's nothing I can do. Maybe there just isn't that much music around. Who knows? Who knows? There is nothing more vast than the blank canvas. It is a place before the birth of an idea pulled out from infinity. It is within the canvas that a search takes place. For direction. Can I go? Oh, and I sure did hope I did not skip stuff by clicking. Just wanted to move it along. Use your cursor to hover over and click on areas to navigate throughout the world. Click menu to save your progress. Load on or save. Adjust the sound. Oh, adjust the sound.
What is this strange place? I don't remember how I got here. Some parts of this world are without color, and some parts are visible. But the rest of it is like a void. I can almost detect there's more here. I can't see it, but I can feel it. Almost like I don't have the capacity to see. Just yet.
Just yet. Okay. What is this strange place? Ah, okay, this is just what she said. Okay. Settings. Oh, now it has sound settings. Good. Let's lower it down a little bit. Let's keep the speech a little bit higher. And now everything should be good. Maybe even too quiet. Oh well. Oh wait, subtitles are on. Okay, that's good. What is this? Oh, that's just empty inventory. Oh, I can. Oh, that's how I move. Well, that's a void. This is where I started. Nothing special here. Alright. Hello. What is this?
Follow the clues I've left for you. They will lead to the key that will take you out of the wasteland. I speak through words as well as symbols. Through words, you will understand with your mind. Through symbols, you understand with your heart. The invisible.
I appreciate you're doing all the reading for me. Sure saves me all the breathing energy. Okay, this is... We don't mind the void. No, just avoid. Hello. Ladder. Yep, ladder. That's... Sure. And what is this? A camera. Okay. Can I make photos? I guess not yet. Ticket with the word listen. Alright, I will listen to the ticket. Do you want to use clues? Let's say no. Yeah, I can toggle on and off, so that's good.
I'm in a different world now. In this one I can see everything. It feels different. The colors are so vivid.
How nice of you to instantly realize you're in a different world. Ooh, there's stuff, right? Ooh, there's a lot of stuff. Anything here? No, I can't knock. I can't pick this up. I think I can pick it up if it doesn't change the cursor. Okay, I'm here now. The gate is locked. Find a way through. Well, a key would be nice, probably. What's this? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing here as well. Okay, doesn't seem like I can actually do anything. So I'm just going to continue down the path. What is... No, come back, back. Nothing I can pick up here. No. Capture, refine, create. Okay. So I'll have to capture something with the camera. Maybe an open door. Or a broken lock. And then I'll be like... Ooh. Chair, thing, barrel. Oh. That's the thing. Paint jar filled with liquid. Oh, that's nice.
When there are influences that keep you from hearing your true voice, that is the wasteland.
Oh.
There is a reference in these notes to the wasteland. I remember reading a lecture where Joseph Campbell spoke about the wasteland as a theme in mythology. It was a place where people believed in things they did not really believe and did things that were against their true nature. Could this be what the notes refer to?
That seems like... I like mythology, and I've never actually heard of such a concept. Okay, so I need a barrel and a chair. There's a barrel here, but I don't think that's it. Oh, I see a chair. There you are. Paintbrush. Okay, so now I just need a barrel. Oh, can it be this one? Oh, can it be this one? Just looking if there's anything interesting. No, doesn't seem like it. On the right. Ooh, the bird escaped. Ooh, I have to place the camera there. Open cage, and I have...
Birds symbolize the soul across many belief systems. Carl Jung once said, "What use now is his lofty perch and his wide horizon, when his own dear soul is languishing in prison?" Lately, this is how I've been feeling. Trapped.
I appreciate the sadness of the story, but again, I feel like bird is much more than just symbol of the soul. It's like, in general, it's used as symbol of freedom, given that birds occupy an whole area of everything. Closed for we will return. Oh, closed for the eternity we will return. It's like birds do have a tendency to fly, and we cannot fly. Well, we couldn't though very recently, really. Okay, so can I
Listen to the voice within. Doors will open.
Yes, and I want to... Yes. Can I... Oh, wait, I need to... burn this. Oh yeah, blue ashes. Now put blue ashes into the jar. Yes, blue paint.
The process of making paint in this world seems to symbolize how ideas become reality. Ideas, or concepts, are captured through the camera, like how the mind captures ideas, and then is represented as a symbol on the picture card. Then the lighter is used to refine the idea, similar to how an idea must be transformed from its purely conceptual state into something that exists in the real world.
You know, you're being too direct here. You should let... I'm sorry for being just so criticizing of this game, off the bat, but when you have a game and the game is supposed to be more of an experience than just a simple shoot 'em up or whatever, you're... Oh wait, did I paint something? Oh wait, I have to put a canvas over the thing. Shoop. Canvas over this, and now paint. There we go. Ta-da!
After painting on that canvas, the painting became real. It became part of the world I could step into. Painting in that passageway reminds me of an essay I once read about creating a new reality. At any moment, we can choose to be passive receivers of reality, or choose to create a reality of our own.
Okay, see, for the first time I actually agree with something. And it's actually semi-annoying how you're popping up new ideas so fast that I'm not even able to... Oh wait, I can go back. I can't even finish the previous thoughts before you introduce a new idea.
When was the last time you remained silent and still enough to hear the voice within? It will guide you to the key.
Isn't it like every time you go to sleep, you're silent and still?
I keep finding these notes that refer to the voice within. If I were to draw from my studies reading Carl Jung, I would say this voice within refers to the soul, the heart, or the unconscious. Jung argued that the unconscious had a profound influence on the lives of individuals. Those who ignored their unconscious ran into frustrations and suffering.
I'm willing to get behind that. Human brain is complicated. To get to the world rebirth. Alright. Tickets. Station. Can I go up? Can't. Okay. Well, I guess a ticket is. Ticket time. There we go. Oh, deliver is out of order. Huh. How? Oh. Oh, well, would you look at that? I know where the paintbrush is. I know where the canvas is. I do not know where the paint is. Alright. Oh, empty. Oh, so we're in like a hub world now. Because this seems like a hub world type of thing. Given that there's more than one of these. I'd suggest we would return to it. Is that... No, that's not it. Oh, listen, that's where we just were.
Listen to the beat of your own drum. Every artist has their own cadence. Follow it. Every artist has their own cadence. Pretty much all of my creative efforts have been dictated by someone else. To have my own cadence, where would I even start? I become so used to working with other people's ideas that I have a hard time coming up with my own. Like I just can't see them. To see with new eyes, that's such a tricky thing.
But see, it's not bad to work with people. It's not bad to work on other people's ideas, especially if you yourself have trouble coming up with stuff. Oh, hello, canvas. There are people who are who have a condition. It starts with an A, I think, but basically they can't imagine things in their head.
Sometimes detours are necessary to move forward.
Yeah.
Lately, my life feels like it's been going down the wrong path. It's difficult finding satisfaction with the art I'm making, and the workload is quite grueling too. It feels like I'm stuck on a treadmill that keeps going faster and faster, and it becomes harder to keep up. What if all this busyness is just a trap, distracting me from pursuing something better? Sometimes...
Oops. Okay, I'm gonna pause here just to actually talk about stuff. If you're working on stuff and you're not happy with what you're actually doing, right? You should look for something that will make you happy. It's absolutely normal for life to seem like it's going faster and faster and faster. That is natural. That is how we perceive time itself. Like, if the running theory right now is that this is because we have less life, we have more life behind us, so the coming moments are a smaller portion of what we already survived. But the thing is, if you keep living that means that everything just goes faster and faster and faster. Like suddenly, in the blink of an eye, a week will pass, and you'll think to yourself, how can I just be missing all those weeks, right? But you're not really missing them. You're doing things. It's just that your brain can now comprehend much more and is able to see the grander scope, and it's normal for things to seem faster. But then comes in the play that things may seem like they are unsatisfactory. Like you don't like them, and you want them to. Oh, that's this thing. And you want to change, and that's also okay. The thing is, you have to be aware of what you actually are doing, because saying, "Oh, I need a change, I'm gonna ditch my job," is not going to help you. But also saying, "I can't ditch my job, even if I don't like it," is not going to help you. You have to actually make a choice. You have to actually go for something that you believe in, and just like there are people that are stuck in jobs that are grueling and are really very little to no time to actually enjoy anything else, especially in the work week, where weekends come into play often. But some people don't even get weekends because they work so much, and they need to work so much because they need to support themselves. And we live in a horrible economy like that. And oh, hello, Blackboard. And the floor has collapsed. Oh, I need to find a canvas, another canvas, a paint bucket. So it's okay to be, it's okay to feel overwhelmed by that, because it is overwhelming. It is overwhelming how much just is going on. But don't feel like it. Can I actually go back to the listen and take the canvas? No, come back. Take the canvas from there. No, I can't. So if you have an unsatisfying experience in life, try your best to work towards an experience that will. Oh, hello. Oh, look at that little heart. Oh wait, I know what I have to make a photo of that. No, okay. So you have to just work towards an way that would satisfy you more. I realize it's very, very harsh, but I'm just thinking about on the spot as I'm trying to actually play this game and figure out where the bucket is. So sorry for not being the bestest at it. But if you have, like, for instance, like have limited time and a job that doesn't satisfy you, think to yourself, what will satisfy you, right? Your job shouldn't be something that you have to do and you're forced to do because you need money. The money should be a bonus that comes out of hello MP. That comes out of you being able to, well, do something. And oh, there's the empty. Hello. So if you have something, if you're working in a like fast food restaurant, right? There's nothing bad in working in a fast food restaurant, right? But majority of people, I'm not saying all, not even all. Like there are some people that will enjoy working in a fast food, but majority of people won't, because it's a job that is not really pleasant with all the people you have to deal with, and well, it's. Come on, I know it's under the ladder, or it's up here, I guess. And so it is not something that people want to get stuck in, right? But at the same time, people will need the money. So many people will actually. Can I do a camera of that? No. Will actually. Oops, resume. Will actually go for a job at a fast food, because just as the food, it is a fast job that you can quickly get and, well, make money. Yeah, fallen tree, blah 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 blah. So you shouldn't be ashamed of working at a fast food, but unless you enjoy that job, which if you do, all the power to you, you shouldn't actually think about constantly staying in as working in a fast food, right? You should think of how you can get out of it, and this won't be easy in many cases, right? So if you want to work in in certain fields you may need some education, right? And certain types of degrees are harder to get than others. If you want to go for something medical, you're gonna have to do a whole lot of learning about things, and you'll have to remember that knowledge. If you're going for anything law, you'll have to memorize just tons of passages, and while you won't have to memorize them forever, but you will have to memorize them at least once for the exam. Yeah, see, I need a crowbar for this. And so, oh, hello.
Each world yields to the power of its own color. That note indicates what I've started to notice. Each world seems to have its own color theme in the items I pick up, and each world uses a different color of paint. Blue was the primary color for the alley cafe, red for that ornate house, and green for this foggy cliffside.
So, go. I guess I can burn the cup now. So you have to be aware of what you want to do. Now, there are differences between wanting to like having dreams and stuff, and having goals, right? So many people will have a hard time distinguishing those when talking with things that are hard to achieve. But if you have a dream, that's something that you're unlikely to reach in a way that's plausible. So for instance, you'd have a dream to go to space, right? Maybe in a decade or two, the space travel will be commercially available, and maybe you'll have enough money to actually go on a trip like that, but it's unlikely. Especially given that I know basically everyone who watches these videos at the moment of recording. Can I paint this? I can. Mine. So it can be. So that's an unrealistic goal to make if you want to make that a goal. That's why it shouldn't be your goal, right? However, working in a certain spot can just as well be a dream. If you want to work in some high corporation and be a CEO of that corporation whilst knowing nothing about business and economics or whatever, you're not gonna get anywhere. You can't get anywhere without that knowledge. But if you're capable and you're focused enough on actually going there, you can learn a lot of things. Now, here is an important distinction that also a lot of people fail to recognize. Alright? There is like a lot of people, especially in the artist community, and this is like a heavily artist game, will tell you talent doesn't exist, it's just hard work. And while hard work is absolutely very important, talent is a thing. It dictates how much work you need to put into a thing to get to a certain level. So for instance, I am a horrible artist. I've spent just dozens, hundreds of hours trying to learn to draw, and I can't do anything like at all. I understand all the anatomy, I understand shading, I understand 3D forms, I understand everything there is to know, but I can't put it together on a picture. I can't make a drawing that actually works. And that's not because I'm like not trying enough or something. That's because I'm just not talented in that regard, and I would have to spend thousands of hours to make something that a talented artist will be able to make after, say, a few dozen. Right. Let's see what.
Chop down and clear away every tree which does not bear good fruit. Look past distractions and what is not essential, and your path will be revealed. The messages I'm getting from this world seem to be about clearing away obstacles in order to move forward and find a new path. I remember a story about a wise man who was pouring tea for an impatient man who had come to visit him because he wanted to know the meaning of life. The wise man kept pouring the tea, while the impatient man kept talking and asking questions, and the tea began to overflow in his cup. The impatient man protested, saying, "Stop, can't you see it's full?" And the wise man said, "Just so, like this cup, you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I teach you unless you first empty your cup?" I've always liked this story. To empty yourself so that you may be filled with something new.
That is next to the point I'm trying to make. If you have a lot of things going on. Oh, hello. Kind of paint. Oh, there it is. That's the red one that I needed. You have to recognize what you are doing and what you're able to do, right? Oh, rebirth again. What is there? Oh, there is a camera. That doesn't look like a good thing to camera. Where did I get the picture of that? What? Okay. If you say so. Curious that I still have the green pen. Wait. Oh, can I? Wait, can I do this? Huh. So I can actually go out. It's interesting to get that I don't have. So you have to recognize what your talents actually are, and like a lot of people will say that it's pointless to have various classes in school, right? Like, why do we need math in school or algebra, whatever, right? But the same you can say, why do you need language? Why do you need PE classes? Why do you need anything in school, right? I mean, the school's purpose is to learn, and why is anything higher on the learning list than other things? Well, because some things are more useful to you, right? But you don't know what will be useful to you at that early stage of learning, right? You know this. Some people will know this by middle school, right? I knew I wanted to get into programming since I think it was 4th grade, right? That's when they first introduced me to the concept of computers, and that's what they can do, and I was amazed ever since. But there are people who didn't know what they want to do until late in life, right? And that's fine. It's not that easy to find what you want to do, and if you're having troubles, I would like to have. I have an empty ticket. Wait, am I supposed to like walk the canvas? Oh, there it is. Wow. Oh, that was hidden. Alright, so it's fine to you have to like learn, and it takes time. Not everyone will find it instantly. Of course, the earlier you find it, the better for you, but you have to respect that not all people are equal, and especially some people have very weird talents when you think about it, right? There are people who are, for instance, may not be really good in realistic art, but may be very good in drawing caricature, right? There are people who are fantastic at street art, but wouldn't be able to draw you, say, a dragon if they tried, right? Oh, there goes the house. Alright, so people are, even within a certain area, they are able to do different things. And some people are jack of all trades. They're able to do everything. But others are really good at a very specific thing. Oh. Oh. Can you? And can you? Come on. There we go. Triumph of Death. Some people are very good at a very specific thing, and you have to learn what you're very specific. Oh, hello.
Dying to old ways of thinking and being creates a path for new life out of the wasteland.
I wasn't aware that you actually can click those cards and read them.
The picture card speaks of dying to old ways to find new life. I'm reminded of something Joseph Campbell once said. Only birth can conquer death. Birth not of the old thing again, but of something new. Within the soul there must be recurrence of birth if we are to experience a rich life. I can't say that I've ever gone through a change so dramatic, but it feels like I'm getting close to something like this. Otherwise, why am I being shown all of this?
Most likely because you just went insane in your little cupboard and this is all an illusion, but hey, what do I know? So, once you figure out what you actually are good at, then you can pursue that. Because trying to go for a goal when you don't know what you're capable of is like trying to decide how far in a marathon you want to run without actually knowing what your stamina is, right? Hello. You're broken. How dare you? How dare you be broken? So, oops, what is down there? Hello.
The more you listen, the easier it becomes to hear the voice within. But first, find the key. The notes keep mentioning the key. Keys symbolize power, knowledge, and opportunities. New doors can be opened to opportunities that were once locked and reserved to whoever possessed the key. Janus, the Roman god of gates and wisdom, is sometimes portrayed carrying a key. He was the god of beginnings and ends who could grant new opportunities.
I'm not gonna disagree. Oh, out of service. Ooh. Oh. I thought I was going to not let me do that. So it's a so you have to like figure out what you're good at, and you may be 20 something, you may be 30 something, and you may not know what you're good at or what you enjoy, and that's completely fine. Some people, like, I'm not saying I don't believe there is a person that isn't good at something, right? I just don't think that's physically possible unless they are handicapped in some manner. And so for instance, it would suck if someone would be really good at running is paralyzed. That would really suck for them. But that may be the reality that some people are unlucky to live in, right? However, you are able to do things, and you have to see, even if you aren't able to find what you are good at, you can try finding what you enjoy and try pursuing that, because in the end life is about enjoyment. Then of course there is the added issue of paradise. There's the added issue of well, how do I make enjoyment my career option? Like, so for instance, say you like playing games, like I'm doing right now, right? Some people were able to make playing games their career, basically by using YouTube. I'm posting this on YouTube, but not because I want to make a career out of making games, but because I enjoy watching people play games, and I think I have some interesting things to say sometimes, not always, but and I know that there are some people that may want to watch those games and may want to listen and may want to have interesting things thrown into their brain to think about. Who knows? And that's why I post it. I don't need to have that a career, but that doesn't mean it's not an option. If you really want, you could absolutely try. Problem is that right now the market is quite saturated with people, but that doesn't mean you can't do your best. If you're going to make good enough things, if you're going to properly act and do all the good exposure within, like, exposure is a really bad word, but basically if you're just going to throw your content into multiple places. That will attract multiple viewers, and if you're good enough to keep them, then that will have them in and attract more viewers.
Mend the split between yourself and the true artist. These notes keep mentioning something called the true artist. I wonder if this is similar to something Jung called the self, which is the unconscious part of ourselves where our true nature lies. In different times it went by other names. The Greeks called it the daemon, and the Romans called it the genius within each individual. Jung considered that everyone has a sense of wholeness from birth, but loses it early in life. The goal is to consciously rediscover the self. Otherwise, we eventually reach an impasse in one way or another. That must be what this is.
I have a commentary in the game again. You're posting me notes and you say the notes keep mentioning, and when you say something that is for the first time being mentioned, am I like missing notes? I know I didn't look at
Where
the
does your greatest passion meet the world's greatest need? This is your vocation and paradise. Vocation as paradise. I once read that the word vocation is rooted in the Latin word for voice. Then perhaps our vocation is not something we simply pursue, but is more of a calling that is heard. It is in listening, not pure willfulness, that our true path is discovered. But how to discern between that voice within and the voices of the wasteland that lead down a false path?
There is no such thing as a false path. There is no such thing. There are paths that just are better than others, but there is no such thing as a false path. There are paths that are horrible, right? If you're like going to a path for murder or whatever, you're not going across a path that's good, but it's not a false path. Like, no matter what they would say. Card with a picture of a mirror. Am I like supposed to choose what I'm like the ending here? I bet that's what I'm supposed to do. Alright, because you have like an infinity symbol. Well, everything has an infinity symbol around here. There's no false path in life. They are just rough paths, and you should always aim to have your path be as enjoyable as possible for you and others. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's sort of like in a very weird way, it's like communism of mental points of view, right? You want everyone to feel well. Oh wait, am I supposed to like burn everything? I'm supposed to burn everything, aren't I? And I'm supposed to mix all the powders together, aren't I? Red ashes, green ashes, blue ashes. I can't. Okay, so wait, I have a red canvas. What do I need the canvas for? Wait. I don't have a paint. I have this. Oh yeah, I can go back now. Oh, that's neat. Okay, so I can actually go back here. And I can read, because we have listen. Alright, so listen to the voice within. Wait. Why is there two listens? Empty. There's empty, listen, and I guess deliver is what we're in. Alright, so what I would say to do, if I would probably like I'd say emptying yourself, emptying your head is a good way to go. Because oh wait, this is not working. No. No. Wait. I don't have more. Wait. Oh. Just that, eh? Alright, but now I have ashes. What do I do with the ashes? Not really sure. I don't even know if there are multiple endings or something. Was there something? I don't know if I missed something. Yeah, I'd say like empty stuff. If you're lost in any way in your life, just take a step back and try and think about what you're actually trying to achieve, what you're actually going for, what's your goal really
Now
is.
I'm in another world similar to the first, where there is this feeling of a void. But I'm getting the same sense that there may be more to this world that I cannot see just yet.
More that you cannot see just yet. Oh, blue. Okay, we're going up the listening stairs. Hello.
Let the art guide you where it wants to go. Listen. When working with other people's ideas, you don't need to let anything guide you. The plan is mapped out already. To let the art guide you where it wants to go sounds like intuition. I once read that intuition is letting the painting paint itself. That requires a lot of trust in something you can't quite predict or see.
Yes, and that is important to say. Don't do that. If you're scared of it, don't. This can be very anxiety-inducing, very, very bad for an artist that isn't sure what they're able to do. Because if your painting doesn't come out as good as you hope, and for the first few times that you do stuff, it won't come out as well as you want it. Like in reality, most artists will always see their art as bad. Don't hope for it to be good, because if you're just going to keep seeing disappointment when you do your artworks, you're not going to enjoy drawing or doing anything, and that's not what this is supposed to be. You're supposed to enjoy yourself. If you enjoy yourself working with other people, when other people give you directions what to do, there is nothing bad of that, and you are still the one making it. Unless the directions is, oh, here you have a coloring book and now color me this image with these colors, well, that's a little bit on the line. But even then, if depending on how much freedom you actually have, this is still your job, what you're doing, and you really shouldn't. I just feel like this game means well, but it doesn't deliver
It is not
properly.
in the arriving at a definite end or some fixed and finite point, but it's in the never-ending search that we discover who we are to be. The true artist is always in a state of becoming. The true artist is always in a state of becoming. This is a profound statement. It sounds like the constant need to reinvent oneself. It reminds me of a proverb I once heard. Running water never grows stale.
Did someone just make up a quote and then call the quote a profound statement? I'm not sure if that's like quotes from someone else or if that the game maker actually did that. But boy, okay. So
It is not in the arriving at a
yes, you are always getting better. I agree, but okay, moving on. Just let's see what's
When tasting the fruit of our true essence, the direction of our lives are forever altered, and our souls cannot find peace and fulfillment until we realize our true purpose.
Okay.
To taste the fruit of our true essence sounds like seeing with new eyes. I've never experienced this, but I've heard it's like waking up to a new reality where everything looks and feels different. Jung called this the process of individuation, where the conscious and the unconscious are united in a person, and one is able to live out their true nature. The person becomes whole.
I disagree. By joining your unconscious and conscious, you're getting rid of the split. You're getting rid of having an unconscious and a conscious within yourself, with both can lead to give you inputs on what you're actually wanting to do, which is fascinating. Like if you're able to train one, because you're able to train your conscious whatever you want it to be. Your unconscious is permanent, and it's set in a state that's barely changing, because it's your brain doing the electrical signals, but your consciousness is like the second layer of that, which we actually don't know what it is, but that is you're able to change that with enough practice and actually trying to change it, because saying, oh well, I'll change myself will never do anything, but you're able to change that. So if you're able to make your conscience counter your unconscious, not like be completely opposite. You don't make yourself just be a total douchebag for the sake of being different than your very kind unconsciousness. No, I'm saying like if your unconsciousness is very feelings oriented, then you could try diverting towards logic. Now, of course, this is hard to conceptualize for most people. I am in a very weird state when it comes to that split, but you can, if you can use that, if you can go with having two different ways of thought within yourself, you're capable of looking critically at anything you make from different points of view, which is extremely difficult when you have a single point of view, right? Because getting rid of your bias is very, very hard if you don't have a way to look at it differently. So, yeah.
In tasting the fruit of our true essence, the direction of our lives are forever altered, and our souls cannot.
Yeah, so I give you
to taste the fruit of our true essence sounds like seeing with new eyes. I've never experienced this, but I've heard it.
Yes, it's I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's like it is a profound idea indeed, but it is not an idea everyone should pursue. It is not an idea you're going to benefit from, unless you have the proper state of mind where you're going to benefit from it. It's you can put a lot of analogies to this. So, for instance, you're not going to, if you're just going to go to the kitchen to make some random food, you're not going to make anything great, even if you follow good recipes. You have to want to make the food and actually put the effort to properly do the food. Oh, hello, magical key. Well, there goes the key.
Love and courage are at the root of a true creative act. It is not destructive and is not influenced by any outside pressures, reward, or need to survive. But to create from the love that lies inside is where freedom and truth are found. Your key lies within. Love and courage are at the root of a true creative act. In other words, if we create art simply because we love the act of creating, we are being true to ourselves.
No.
We are free from expectations of what comes after, and not dictated by any authority, personal obligations, or survival. And then we know we are on the right path. This idea can apply to everything we do, not just art.
Yes, but the thing is, if you're doing that, you're not true to yourself, you're true to whatever the person thinking about this idea made. Like, by falling into this idea, you're precisely going against it by saying that, hey, I'm going to follow this authority of this guy who's saying that, hey, this is how we should go. This is... like, there's a lot in here. This is like philosophical how and everything, and I understand it. I understand what it's trying to say, but it is not doing it well. Like, my goodness, wait. Now, I'm guessing I can put everything in here. I'm guessing the aim is to have all of them in. Yep. And I can do a white paint. Right, so I get what it's trying to say, but my god, it just throws it as an objective truth and doesn't like even let you interpret it. It just throws a meaning onto you. This is not how this is. We're supposed to teach people a lesson about philosophy. This is like borderline bad way of teaching, which is really impressive that anyone manages to find a bad way to do.
Everyone must stand at the crossroads and decide if they will allow their eyes to be opened to the truth of who they are to become, or be molded into a facade of a self created by the wasteland.
So I'm just rereading. Like, everyone must stand at the crossroad and decide if they will allow their eyes to be open to the truth of who they are, to be molded into a facade of a self created by the wasteland. I mean, no, you don't ever, like, yeah, standing and being aware of that is good, but you don't, it's not a black and white scenario where on one side is just evil and one is a good creation. Creation can be self-destructive, and a mold from an outside can be preservative. Okay, so on one hand there is a tree, on the other is this. I mean, I sure as hell hope that this ladder goes up to catch something like fruit of the tree and not to a noose or whatever up there. Yeah, it's for fruit. What is this? Okay, just fruit. Take it. Oh. Okay, so I guess fruit is
Everyone must stand at the crossroads and decide if they will allow their eyes to be opened to the truth of who they are to become.
I guess I can eat the fruit? Question mark. Be who I'm meant to become. Where Ociertien? Oh, can you hear it? I can, but let's wait. There we go.
Where before you used to be jagged, now you are elegant and in rhythm with yourself.
Okay. Oh boy, this is... Can I use that? I can. Oh wow, you went into first person now. I did not expect it.
The true artist lies within you. Go paint your masterpiece.
Chip. Oh, a nice symbolism of ascension at the end. Alright, really good game in terms of like just art and design and stuff. Really solid philosophical ideas within it. Like, I appreciate it. I really dislike the forced interpretation of them and the hand feeding you off with the simplest understanding of concepts. That is not how you do philosophy. You have to let people figure some things out for their own. Otherwise, you're just leading them into a path and you're not letting them figure things out. If you're like, this is a very like, there's a lot of topics, and I mentioned at the very start that they just kept bringing new things faster than I was able to actually comment on all of it, so a lot of it got lost, and I'm sorry for that. If there's anything specifically you wanted to clarify, feel free to ask comments, or if you know my contact info, then just send me a message. Then I can just continue, because there's a lot of things here. The music is surprisingly loud. I cannot tell if you can hear me above that, but oh my god, the music. But I mean, if you're having struggles with your life, if anything, like you feel like you're not able to do anything and you're troubling and such, it's worth taking a step back and just looking at everything you are, at everything you can do, and at everything you're able to reach. Take a look at all of it. As much as possible, as wide of a picture as you can paint. Look at it. Look, try and find what it is that is causing you misery. What it is that is at the heart of your issue. Let's, as an example, there's an artist who struggles a lot with drawing. They try to do commissions and then failed and couldn't do them, right? Because it was just too much. What was at the heart of the issue? It wasn't the commissions. They did commissions before. They did things for people. They loved doing things for people. It was the fact that there was pressure, that there was someone waiting for them to finish, and that weight and that obligation to actually finish a piece of work was what made it stressful. But then there is the difficulty of, well, I can do this and I will take my time, but then if I delay at this, then all the other people that are next to you will also be delayed, and that causes extra stress, right? So the only way to fix that would be to completely change up how they were to do commissions, and that would be not easy and possibly unfair to some people. So I'm not here to say what the best approach would have been, but it is not easy to find it find the issue, and it is even harder to fix it. However, acknowledging that there is an issue and starting to look for it is the first step.